when you take someone like Carter out of the lineup, I'm guessing that you're hoping he handles it the right way and is ready for a situation like that, which he was.
Right.
Can you just talk about that decision and then?
Well, I mean, it was, he's been struggling offensively, defensively, and sometimes it helps just to kind of take a step back and watch a little bit and slow the game down. But I just said it on the radio, like that shows like his maturity, his care for the team, because he didn't pout, he didn't mope, he stayed in the game, and arguably got the biggest hit of the game for us and had the biggest at bat. But if he's not doing those things mentally throughout the game, and he's sitting over there moping and pouting and why am I not in the game, of that mindset, he probably doesn't deliver right there. So I'm proud of him, but I think that's that's who he is, and that guy's always been a team guy, and it didn't faze him whatsoever. Funny, when I walked down to the bench, tapped him on the shoulder and was like, "Hey man, you ready to hit?" He's like, "I'm always ready." So he was.
And you could tell during the game that he was handling.
Oh yeah, you can hear him. I mean, he's one of the, and that's what you expect out of your little guys. I mean, he was keeping guys in the game and staying in the game. I mean, it's that's what's expected. And he did a really good job of that.
I know you've talked a lot this year about kind of guys keeping their same approach. Was today kind of the epitome of that after 6 innings with only 2 hits?
Well, yeah, and grinding it out. You keep going. We're a pretty good offensive lineup, and you just never know. And finally some of the bounces went our way. The swinging bunt, I think Alika had, but you keep going, and we say too, you're never out of it with power, and and I think that was, when we get a few of those runs with just one swing of the bat. So hopefully this gets us jump started a little bit, but clearly we got some things we need to take care of too.
How important is it to get 4 runs against a team like that so early?
Well, it'd be a lot better if you hold the lead.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a disappointment. I'll go there. I know my mindset coach is back there going, "Shut your mouth, Tracy." But if we want to be where we have to be, I mean, those are the steps that we have to take. You go out, you get 4, and that stuff's gonna happen, but it's happening too much right now. And we got to eliminate that stuff if we're going to be where we want to be. I think the best part of this, is that we played realistically a very, very poor baseball game on the mound and defensively. There's some nice plays here and there, but overall, if you were to look at that box score, and I didn't tell you the end of the score, and I said pick which team won, you would say, no, this one over here, So all that said, this group still found, arguably one of the worst games we played, found a way to win against the #1 team in the country. So that shows you how good this team could be if we can get some of those things taken care of on a consistent basis. But these guys, and I'm saying pitching, we've done it before. So hopefully this will be a catalyst to, we pull together, we stay together. But when those guys dialed in, and you go through stuff like this, when they get back on a high, you want to be playing well at the right time. And I think we're probably going to look back at some point this summer and say, hey, remember that UCLA game is the one that gets you going. I mean, that's what I bet you that's what's going to happen.
Kind of speaking to the defensive aspect on that bunt play that Blake threw away, do you like the initial reaction for him to go to third, or would you rather him just take the short out?
No, I mean, you're talking about, a guy that hasn't been out there a lot. I think his instincts were correct. I mean, I think he absolutely, and if he has more experience, he probably unloads that thing to third base and gets lead out. Sometimes with a freshman who's not been through that situation a lot, he reacted the way he was supposed to, but he heard the catcher call one. And a lot of times, the young guys are like, I'll just do what I'm told, So I think as you see him more and more, you're going to see, but I have no problem, because he made the right read. And as he matures, he's going to understand the speed of the game. The ball's hit it a certain way. He's going to know without the catcher having to say anything where I need to go. So, now all of that, again, said if he makes the good throw at first, so you could say maybe he looked and saw that he was going to be safe. I don't think so. Then he did make the right decision to turn and just get an out, but unfortunately didn't throw it, accurately. But we were able to, outside of that though, with that dude, I thought he was also one of the main factors of the game. So, good for him to grow up a little bit.
Aside from Marsh on Friday, Vandercoy on Saturday, has your plan or philosophy with the bullpen and the rest of your pitching staff altered a little bit from the start of the season?
Well, I mean, it's a matter of, everybody's got a job to do and we've got to execute and do that job better. I mean, I think it worked out. I know, I wouldn't say I know, but I mean, we talked about this yesterday about the decision not to use some of your regular guys when it was 9 runs and that thing turned into a very ugly, high-scoring game. But our decision was, well, we need to save our quality arms to make sure we get the win today. Well, thank goodness we did, because those are the guys that we used and were fresh and were able to grind out a win. So I just think we got to get some of that confidence back, some of that swag back on the mound, and because these guys are capable, they've done it before. But if Dabovich, you saw, today we talked about, Jeff, we asked, the situation did not present itself early. We had a limited pitch count for him to be on the back end. I don't know if we hold on to that with a young guy out there. So I think it makes us better with him on the back end. And now we just got to bridge that gap, because I think Boyd's thing was a little bit of an anomaly. He's been throwing the ball better. And if we can get to that 6th or 7th, I have confidence in Corrigan, and certainly Brazel's been doing a good job. If we can get it to the 9th with the lead, I feel good with RJ on the mound. So I think it's going to shape up the way that we anticipate.
When you say the pitchers need confidence and swagger, is that something that goes into their location?
Yeah, I mean, it's just pitching aggressively in the zone, not nibbling. And I'm not saying guys are out there trying to throw balls, but we'll do seems like we get a little bit more focused when we're behind an account and we throw. So if we're able to do that, so it's just, again, getting that back, getting that confidence back, trusting the guys behind you, and getting back in that groove, because that stuff, it's hot and cold too, and sometimes, unfortunately, it's contagious too. So and a lot of times it's not that guys are scared, it's just they're trying too hard.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't want to be the guy to let my team down. Well, then guess what you do? You let your team down. So we just got to get them to stay in the moment, have some fun, do what you've done your entire life, and trust the guys behind you. And if we do that, these guys are more than capable.
I think this is the 3rd time that you guys have avoided the sweep on the last day. Is that important that you've seen going momentum-wise into the midweek game?
Yeah, I mean, we look at it. We still look at it, the season of its entirety. If I'm sitting here at a different result, I'd be telling you the same thing. It's one game of 55 for us at this point. So we're trying to get guys out of that whole mindset of like the 3-game thing. Just give your best every single inning. Give your best all the way through. And if you do that enough, then you're probably going to win your share of series. Our challenge today, we said we wanted to do, and I can't take credit for this, but we kind of revisited who we are and who we want to be and how we want to be perceived. And we just said, hey man, let's not commit to the result. Let's not worry about the result. Let's check ourselves at the end of today to see if we played hard all the way through. For the first time, I think this season, yesterday we didn't. I think we quit. And so it was a perfect time to hit the reset button for us. We were able to, maybe this is the best learning tool. You play terribly and still win after you make the commitment that, hey, I don't care, we're just going to play hard, and you get the result. I mean, I think that's an awesome teaching tool, awesome teaching lesson. Just happened today.
Was that message last night or before the game today?
This morning.
Okay.
This morning. Had some mindset guru guy. So, but it's it's all part of what we do and what we want to become. Strive for consistency, and consistency comes when you play hard the whole time.
You did turn 4 double plays, so there was, one of them was that beautiful spin move.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of a mixed bag, really, when it comes to the
and that's what we gotta get to the point where it doesn't matter if it could be pitching one night, it could be hitting another. We certainly pitched well enough to win on Friday. We just didn't. So we gotta pull this when you struggle, you gotta pull it in a little bit tighter and continue to do things. But I was for the I think that we made 4 today. I don't think we made 1 until today. But yeah, we made plays when we had to. Going back to what I said, that was not pretty. Our pitching clearly was off, but we made good pitches at times when we needed to. Now it's just eliminating some of that, the inconsistencies that will allow us to get to where we're going to be. Because I'll say it, it's like we have not played well for a while, but we're still sitting here 20-some games over 500. So I'm kind of excited about what the future holds when it all starts clicking.
With being down to the last 10 games of the season and the next 7 on the road, do you think this provides a good opportunity for the guys to really lock in and just commit to the one game at a time,
Yeah.
inning at a time?
Yeah, and there's something to be said, playing on the road too. You know, if you're approaching it the right way, it creates kind of that, us against them mentality. So our guys don't fear playing on the road. That could be, you never know what's going to happen postseason. So it could also be a great training ground for postseason. So we're looking forward to it. No secret, I've got a Big Ten background. So I played in the park we're going to, and I'm kind of excited for our guys to experience that, and it'll be different, I think, than some of the crowds out west, outside of maybe Oregon State. I think it'd be good for our guys to play in this environment. They're going to play in an environment where people are going to be loud. There's going to be a lot of people, so I think that's good for us.
Why was it so important for you to kind of get that message across this morning of kind of hitting the reset button?
Well, because honestly, I thought yesterday, and it wasn't the score at the end, it wasn't the 18 runs, it was just the process. Like, I thought for the first time this season, we just kind of gave in to being, I don't know what it was, being hot, being tired, being beat, being frustrated, I don't know what it was. So when you go through something like that, and and I guess you can use the word when you get embarrassed on your own field, it's probably a good time to take pause and revisit. Okay, man, is that regardless of the score? Is that how we want to? Is that Dina? Is that how we want to carry ourselves? And is that how we want to be seen? And not for everybody else, but internally.
Yep.
Is that who we are? And we don't think that's who we are. Yesterday didn't define us. It was a terrible day. So let's take pause, let's talk about who we are, and let's get back to that. Not worry about the result. The result will be what it's supposed to be.
You had the 25-1, but the strength of schedule piece was not impressive, I guess. Now it's like you're 8-11 since then. Where do you think you are sort of collectively over the?
Well, it's funny. I mean, I look at, and I know, like, I'm even like looking at Notre Dame, that everybody's like, they're doing okay in the ACC. They're winning some big series. I think they took. So I don't look at it as it's necessarily the schedule. I think it's, the season is ebbs and flows, and you'll play good baseball for a while. I think my team is the Cubbies at the major league level. They had a horrible start, and now they're hot as heck. And so I just think you kind of go through these things. Sometimes you don't get the calls, sometimes you don't get the bounces. So, and I'm not going to lie. I mean, I would say this to me is the first opponent we played that I would say is vastly, from the mound perspective, the pitch is vastly different from anybody we play. I mean, that team, I know why they're the #1 team in the country, because they're very consistent on the mound. They play good defense. But other than that, there's not been a lot of separation of the teams we played. We were playing better early. I think there was more confidence early, and somewhere along the line, some of the confidence has gotten shaken. But that plate has not gotten any bigger. It's not gotten any smaller since the beginning of the season. And so it isn't to me, and I know it's the strength of schedule. Not really. I mean, it's not. We played some of our better baseball against some of the better teams, and so I don't think it's that. I think it's a striving for consistency. That's it.
Well, you have played 5 close games against two top five teams, and one of them being #1. So, I guess that's showing some.
Well, it's the play. It's just, to me, we got to be a little sharper, and I don't want to, but we got to be a little sharper on the ball. I mean, that's it. We got to eliminate the free bases. When our woes have started, and woes of 500 baseball, it's we were giving up too many free bases. That's it. And I think when we make that important again, and we do a better job of that, it's not going to matter who we're playing, because we're capable. So I just don't know. I don't buy the whole, like, we've lost against quote unquote good teams. We've lost against quote unquote bad teams. If you play bad baseball and give up free bases, you're going to lose a baseball game no matter who you're playing. I think this team, if we eliminate free bases and do what we do, we can beat it. Well, We played terribly and still beat the number 1 team, so we're capable.
Thanks, Gabe.
All right.
Thank you.